time you got here?
All right, hallelujah. What is it this time?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I got grub cooked for 25 cowhands. Where's the cowhands? Or maybe me and you's driving them mossy-backed Texas critters all the way to Nevada by ourselves. I'm telling you right now, I quit.
This is the third time today you feathered out, hallelujah.
I got a reason to be feathered out. Grub for 25 hands is spoiling there in the kettle. No one to eat it.
You're coming on behind.
I've been up since day. Oh, 25 of them?
All 25 of them.
Cartwrights, I don't know what you're thinking about, setting one man do all the cooking for a crowd like that. I've been up since daylight, cooking food, peeling potatoes, chalking the fire.
Throw up a picket line here.
Is that our hens?
Oh, just the advance party.
They sure are a scroungy-looking bunch, ain't they?
Well, I didn't have much choice. Not too many want to take a herd the way we're going. Oh, Brazos! Hoss, this is our new segundo. Brazos, my son Hoss.
Hi. Brazos what?
Brazos, that's all.
Brazos rounded up our crew. He knows the country we'll be traveling.
Where'd you round them up? Out of the nearest jail?
Some of them, maybe. Driving cattle up the trail ain't exactly my idea of a church social. I want the hardest boys I can find.
Well, it looks like you found them, mister.
Brazos, feed your man. We'll pull out at daybreak. And Brazos, let's not have any trouble.
Trouble, Mr. Cartwright? You know, trouble only comes to those who can't handle it.
His face in the frying pan, on his head.
Howdy.
Figured on eating, drag up some wood and get some water in the barrel. Tree's right down there, creek just below the rise.
You driving a herd north?
Now, what would put an idea like that in your head? We just sashaying these critters up and down and up so they'll get an appetite for the victuals. Won't get too fat in the middle. Here, tree's right down there.
Well, who's the trail boss?
Mr. Ben Cartwright. I declare you're nothing but questions. Here, creek's right there below the rise. Take about 10 buckets to fill the barrel.
Yes, sir. This here Mr. Cartwright, is he doing any hiring?
Now, boy, I got a passel of hungry trail hands to feed, and I ain't got no time to waste answering foolish questions.
Yes, sir. Maybe you could put in a word for me. My name's Sam Jackson.
You are the dangdest, gabbiest fella when there's work to be done. Maybe I'll put a word in for you, and maybe I won't.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Who's that?
Who's young fella riding grub line? Seems to be a nice willing boy, too.
Yeah. I see you done put him to work. Hallelujah. What do you got against cutting your own wood and hauling your own water?
It ain't in keeping with my position. Mr. Hoss, my job's driving mules and cooking. Now, thank you to keep your big, fat, cow-smelly hands out of my donuts.
My hands ain't neither cow smelly.
Well, if you want to eat, you go and help that boy get in some wood. Somebody got to haul me some water. Went to town to buy me some goods. Got myself lost in a piece of wood.
Hallelujah, you undoubtedly got the worst voice I ever heard in my life.
Good enough for the mules. They like it.
They probably think you're some kin. That axe ought not to be that heavy, kid. Ought to tuck you out like that.
Don't you tell me nothing about axes. I've been swinging axes all my life.
How many of them did you ever swing on an empty stomach? Yeah. You go over and sit down. Oh, hallelujah, ought to know better than send a man out on a job like this on an empty stomach. You looking for work?
I sure am.
What can you do?
Ride, rope, drive cows.
All right?
I can read and write and cipher up to the 12 times table.
You can.
And I know more about cows than any of them ragged-tailed brush poppers you got in your drive.
Well, that ain't saying a whole lot. That ought to be plenty. We don't want to spoil old hallelujah. Come on, let's pick our meal, take it up, and get on back.
Okay.
Hallelujah, this ought to hold you for a while.
When you gonna get the rest of it?
You got us a new hand, Paul.
Looks like I might tuck it out.
Yeah, I reckon he ain't been feeding regular. Hey, kid, come here a minute. This is... Dang, I don't think I got your name.
Sam Jackson.
Sam?
Sam's educated, boy. He can read, write, cipher, and keep a tally book the whole shooting match.
Ah. You looking for a job, son?
Yes, sir. I sure could use a job real handy.
Brazos? Yes, sir. Segundo. Brazos, this is Sam Jackson. Put him to work and fix him up with a string.
All right, Mr. Cartwright. This way, Sam, and I'll get you fixed up.
Looks like a nice boy. Something wrong?
No, Paul. I reckon everything's all right.
Kid. Sam Jackson, huh? When they let you out, or did you bust out?
Now, look, Brazos, let's get this straight. You don't ask me no questions, and I won't cause you no trouble.
Now, you look. Nobody's causing anybody any trouble. Now, you and I always had the same kind of ideas, kid. And we still have.
I went to jail. You didn't.
That a good book?
Yeah, pretty good.
Let me see. Hey, Paul. Pickwick Papers by Dickens. It's quite a book. You like it?
Yeah, I like it fine. I had it with me ever since I left home.
Where is home, Sam?
Back a ways.
Back a ways, which way?
I'm from Nacogdoches.
It's a fur piece. You don't sound much like a Texan.
Well, I ain't to begin with. My mom moved down with her relatives after Pa died.
Sam? How come you happen to be on this trail?
Well, I thought I'd like to make something of myself. And there ain't much opportunity for that in a place like Nacogdoches. If you'll excuse me, I think I'll go check my horse. Good night. Good night, sir.
Good night. I like that boy. I said I like that boy.
Yeah, I heard you, Paul.
You know, what's bothering you?
I don't know for certain, Paul. There's something about that boy. I can't lay to exactly what it is. Sort of the same thing I feel about the colts every year at breaking time. They're a little uncertain and uneasy, and if you spook them the wrong way, they'll go bad on you every time.
Same old Johnny. Smooth with the tongue, fast on the draw.
The name's Sam Jackson.
Take it easy, kid. We gotta make some plans.
What I'm doing is personal, something I gotta take care of myself, and I don't want you spoiling it, you hear?
Oh, I ain't gonna spoil it, Johnny, but I want in on it. I got whipped out of town by that Sheriff Logan. I still got the marks on my back. Man, don't forget that.
I'm sorry, Brazos. I'm going it alone this time.
Paying off the men, Captain?
Well, they're entitled to part of their wages.
You know, being entitled to it's one thing and money in the hand's another. Them galoots hit town with money, they're going to raise more devilment in one night than you've seen in your whole life. Well, they'll treat that town like a possum.
Hallelujah, will you tell me one thing?
Sure.
Why do you folks name you Hallelujah instead of Jeremiah?
Jeremiah. Show him who's Jeremiah. Ain't you going to town with the rest of them border headings?
You want to spend the money, Mr. Hicks, I'm saving.
No. What you saving your money for, boy?
Well, I want to make something of myself, and it seems a man needs money to do that.
You know, I worry when I hear a young fella talking like that. I really do. Ain't natural.
I understand you aim to hold your herd here. Plan on letting your men go into town?
Is there any law against it?
My name's John Logan. I'm sheriff for Waycross Station. I suggest you keep your men right here in camp.
My name's Ben Cartwright, Mr. Logan. My hands have come a long way with that herd, Mr. Logan. They're entitled to ease up a little. I won't stop them from going into town.
There's a deadline on Front Street. Any of your hands go above it, I'll run them in for disturbing the peace. If they resist, I'll kill them. Good day, sir.
Mr. Logan? Enforcing the law is one thing. Killing a man's another. You kill any of my men, I'll come after you myself.
Mister, you've been fairly warned. Johnny?
You made a mistake, mister. The name is Sam. Sam Jackson.
Yeah, that's right. I made a mistake. I thought you were somebody I once knew. A long time ago.
It's nothing like meeting old friends again, huh, kid?
I've changed my mind, Mr. Cartwright. I'd like some of my pay.
Are you going into town after all?
I'm going into town.
This is it, Mr. Cartwright.
What happens if we go beyond this point? What stops us?
2 barrels a buck.
I guess it's as far as we go, boys.
What kind of an outfit are you running, Captain? Letting a town constable push you around.
Well, Brazos, I should have known you'd be along.
You know my foreman?
I know him.
Don't pay any attention to this tin star. Don't mean a thing. Why?
Go for your gun, Logan. I won't wait. Put down that gun. Put it down. Be no killing. And obey the law. First man that starts anything will answer to me. That holds for you, Sheriff. You'll answer to me for any brutality to my crew.
Just see that they obey the law. All right, man, the town's yours. That part of it.
You heard the man. Sam, I want to talk to you. Why'd you throw in with process like that?
He's riding trail with us, ain't he?
Isn't that carrying loyalty to your outfit a little too far? What have you got against Sheriff Logan?
Mr. Cartwright, I just don't know what you're talking about.
Don't play cozy with me, boy. You answer my question.
He's my pa.
Your paw? You're gonna throw down on your own father?
That's right. And just as soon as I get the chance, I'm gonna kill him.
No trouble, Logan. You don't eat.
It's getting a little wild in here.
What do you mean, wild?
You know exactly what I mean.
I'm an honest businessman. No badge toter's gonna come in here and tell me how to run that business.
You're a tin-horn cheat, and you'll do exactly as I tell you. Goes up the street. Pass that around.
Hostile, ain't he?
He's ruined this town. You give $100 to be rid of him.
If I were you, I wouldn't make that kind of an offer. Somebody liable to take you up on it. Have a good time?
It's all right.
Pretty easy.
I guess so.
Don't play Injun with me, boy. I can tell just looking at you what you're thinking. Want to meet her?
Don't do me any favors, Brazos.
I owe you a favor for siding me out on the street. Come on. Sam, meet Melinda Bowers. Melinda meets Sam. He's all right.
Well, I'd just love it if your friend would sit down and buy me a bottle of wine, Brazos. We could talk, get to know each other better.
We sure could. Sam, buy the little lady a bottle of wine.
I'd be real pleased, Miss Melinda.
I'll order it. Logan?
Well, what can I do for you two gentlemen?
Mr. Logan, either my son or I would like to accompany you on your rounds.
Oh? What good would that do?
Well, you said you didn't want to see any trouble on the part of my crew. Thought we'd like to prevent that trouble before any of it ever gets started.
And you think that your talk would be more effective than my scattergun?
Well, they're my crew.
Mr. Cartwright, how many trail drives have you made up from Texas?
I've made my share.
Mr. Cartwright, I drove a half a dozen herds before I turned peace officer. I didn't have any more control over my trail gangs than you do.
I'm aware of the problems, Mr. Logan.
Mr. Cartwright, you've got the scum of the border driving your herds. You're completely at their mercy. Now, you tromp on them hard enough to keep them in line, they'll quit you, leaving you with 2,000-3,000 head, 900 miles from a market. You can't afford that.
They're my cattle. Let me worry about them.
I'm not talking about cattle. I'm talking about some crazy, boozed-up trail hand. Thinks it might be fun to blow out all the glass windows on Main Street. Well, if he tries it, I'm going to have to stop him. And if I have to kill him, I'll do that, too.
Don't you think that's a mite unreasonable?
Either of you men ever see a town get treed?
No, sir, I can't say we have. Must be quite a sight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a sight. Property smashed. Men beaten up for no reason at all except some drunken cowboy feels like it. Buildings set on fire. And the women. Oh, the women. A lot of broken, weeping women left in a town after it's been treed by a trail gang.
I've heard of things like that happening.
You've heard of it? Well, I've seen it right here less than 2 years ago. And your foreman, Mr. Cartwright, a fellow they called Brazos, he was in on that fandango. It was all over with. I tied him to the tail of a wagon and black-snaked him out of town. Now he's come back, looking for more trouble.
What about your son? Did you black-snake him out of town, too?
You know about that?
I know about it.
My son's pushing to get himself killed. I don't want to oblige him. Now it's started. What are you waiting for?
Come near me. I am bad and I am mean.
Oh, I'll bet you are.
He knows what he's doing.
You're just about the meanest and baddest thing I run into in my life. Why, a man could die downright happy just after shaking the hand of a mean killer like you.
You want to shake my hand? Is that all? Ain't gonna kill you?
Why, sure. I tell you, it'd be an honor and a privilege getting killed by a bad man like you. I don't think tonight's a real good night for killing, do you?
You old friend. How could I ever think of killing an old friend like you?
All right, Hoss.
Yeah, I'll take him down to the livery stable and let him sleep it off, Paul.
Good idea.
Can't you find anything better to do than sit in a saloon?
I'll see you later.
You two boys know each other?
We met.
What do you think you're up to, boy?
I don't see as how that's any of your business, Mr. Cartwright.
You signed on as one of my trail gang. Getting those cattle back to Nevada is my business. You stay away from Logan. Hey, keep this gentleman here for a while.
What was that all about?
Well, then I just buy you another bottle of wine, Miss Melinda.
Some other time. I'm through work now. I'm going home.
I'll walk you home.
Well, what about that fellow you work for? You heard what he said.
He didn't say anything about not taking you home.
Been a long time since anybody worried about me getting home. I'll get my key.
You and a little lady hitting it off pretty good, ain't you, kid? You gonna take her home?
Yeah.
She lives across the deadline. You know what that means, don't you?
I said I was taking the lady home.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Something on your mind, cowboy?
I was wondering about you. Your face don't match the way you talk. And sometimes your talk don't match Well, the things you do.
Well, I'm sorry I don't have time to explain it to you. This is as far as you go. That's Sheriff Logan's deadline.
Warning. Trail hands forbidden beyond this point.
You read good. That means you.
I don't care about that tin horn, Sheriff. I'm walking you home.
All right. We don't have far to go. I live right around the corner at the hotel.
Miss Bowers?
Why don't you call me Melinda? Other cowboys do.
Well, there's something I'd kind of like to ask you.
I'll bet a pretty it's gonna be, how did I ever get into this life?
I didn't mean to pry.
No, it's all right. I'm used to it.
What I meant was, well, you ain't always worked at Jake Rudabaugh's saloon, have you?
Ever since those men on that trail gang, I did.
What trail gang? What men you talking about?
Just a bunch of fellas having a good time, at least to start with. Men like yourself and Brazos and the rest of you. There was one I liked a lot. Had more fun I ever had in my whole life. But then they went wild and hoorah'd the town. By the time John Logan organized things and cleaned them out, well, the decent folks just wouldn't give a job to anybody that had anything to do with the trail gang. So there was nothing left for me to do but go to Rudabaugh's saloon.
Sounds to me like all you was doing is having a little fun.
Try and tell that to the good people of Waycross. Good night, kid.
Good night, Melinda.
Well, there's a lot more to being a peace officer than just busting up fights. Now, when there's a trail gang in town, I make the rounds all night long. Never try to walk the same route twice. You might run into some...
Evening, Hoss.
What are you doing here? You're over the deadline.
I can't see as I'm doing any harm.
No, you never did any harm, did you? Well, I'm taking you in.
Mr. Logan, you ain't taking me in. I told you a long time ago, you ain't never taking me in again. And don't you even try.
Thanks. Help me take him in. In there.
How long are you figuring on leaving him in there?
Overnight, anyway. If somebody wants to take responsibility for him, they can bail him out in the morning.
Sam, I'm sorry to see you get yourself into this trouble. I reckon you kind of brought it on yourself going across that deadline, though.
It wasn't this, it'd have been something else. He's out to get me is all it is. He always has been.
Oh, Sam, I can't believe that.
What do you know about it? You want to know what kind of a father he is? He sent me to prison when I was just a kid.
Prison? What'd you do to go to prison?
Nothing. Not a thing. I was running around with some fellas. Brazos was one of them. We hoorah'd at town one night, just letting off some steam. Some woman got hit by a stray bullet. Could have been anybody's bullet. But I spent a year in jail. Because my pa wanted to show the world how tough he was.
Sam, did you ever think that maybe he did that to save you some bigger trouble later on?
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it plenty. All the time I was locked up, I thought about how I was going to get back at him for what he'd done to me.
Boy, you can't carry that with you the rest of your life.
Oh, I don't intend to. I'm going to kill him.
my men in here. I want them.
Cost $25. Don't put it on until you're well out of town.
Wait for me outside, Sam. I told you not to lean too hard on my men.
And I told you what the limits were and what would happen if your men set foot over that line.
The boy was doing no harm.
He broke an ordinance.
Whose ordinance? The town's or your own little ordinance? I can appreciate a hard man doing a hard job the hard way. I can understand, I can like a tough man. But I can't understand and I cannot like a man who would do a thing like this to his own son.
I never let personal considerations interfere with the law.
Is that why your son was so willing to kill you when you placed him under arrest?
Mr. Cartwright, that's none of your business. I know why you're here. The answer is no. I'm not going to open up the town.
Now, see here, John. Let's talk this over like sensible men. The town is losing money.
Judge Armbrust is right, Logan. It isn't just this crew we'll lose money on, but all the other crews coming up the trail behind them. If they find out the town's closed, they'll avoid us like the 7-year itch.
This town used to collect $600-700 in fines alone from trail hands. Almost enough to pay your year's salary, John.
75% of that money went right into your pocket, Judge. Your court clerk got the rest of it.
Now, look here.
Look here, nothing. When you brought me here to clean up this town. There's only one way to do it. Let's keep it closed. Closed tight. There'll be no compromise while I'm sheriff.
Well, maybe you won't be sheriff much longer.
All right, do it your way for a while. When you're sick of it, let me know. I'll be here waiting. A good day, gentlemen.
Say hallelujah about that cut on your face.
Hallelujah. Take a look at this, please.
You heard the owl, seen the elephant, huh? Sit down there on that stool and let me have a look at that face. It's fine. That horse got a real professional touch when it comes to buffaloing. Yes, sir. That boy learned how taking care of his little brother. Seems those two never go to town on Saturday night. Horse don't come home carrying little Joe across the saddle. Bet he saved his skin 100 times or more just trying to keep him out of trouble.
You can keep me out of trouble.
And when the way it was told to me, that don't amount to much. Slow down your eating for a couple of days. Don't spoil your appetite.
What happened, Johnny? It's like I told you, a man ought not try to do a job alone.
I'll get to Logan yet.
Sure, Johnny. But now we'll do it my way. Now, Logan's plumb ticklish about that town of his. If we were to ride in there and start taking it apart...
I told you before, this is something between him and me, personal.
But you wouldn't object to me and the boys flushing him out into the open for you, would you?
Brazos?
Yes, sir. I said we'd do it my way, Johnny. Yes, sir?
Brazos have decided to pull out first thing tomorrow morning.
Is that right, Captain? No. Well, in that case, I better try to get the boys back from town early.
Nobody goes to town. You've had your fun. Go back into town, it'll mean trouble.
That's right, Captain. But if you try to stop me and my boys from going back, that's going to cause trouble, too. Unless you figure that it's no trouble for you and that boy of yours and that stove-up cook of yours to Drive this herd to Nevada all by yourselves.
You threatening me, Brazos?
Oh, now, Captain, don't get sudden. There's no call for it. No call for it at all. It's just that I've got a personal interest in Sheriff Logan and that town of his. No man blacksnakes me and gets away with it.
I'm not interested in your personal grudges.
You ain't, Captain? Well, you should be. The rest of these boys, they're interested in my personal grudges, ain't you, boys? I guess I should have told you at the start of this drive, Captain. These boys do what I say, not what you say.
You pack your war bag and get. The rest of you settle down. You hired honest trail hands, and by thunder, you'll finish this job.
You're gonna have to back that up, Captain. All right, boys. Tell him to put his gun away.
Boss.
How about you, Johnny? You coming along? You kind of wanted to pay your pa another visit, didn't you?
Stay out of this, Sam.
I don't reckon I can stay out of this, Mr. Cartwright. I got a personal grudge, too, that ain't finished yet.
How about you, Cookie?
I'm sticking with the captain.
Well, suit yourself and get over here. And you two. Take their guns and keep your eyes on them. I don't want anybody spoiling our fun. Come on, boys.
We're right glad to see you. After last night, we wanted a chance to show you just how sorry we were for what happened. Judge Armbruster, tell these men what we decided on for today.
Well, we want to see you boys enjoy yourselves. Spend your money in our stores. We've lifted Sheriff Logan's deadline, and our merchants are staying up late in order to serve you. The town is yours.
Well, ain't that nice? Boys, ain't that the nicest thing you ever heard in your lives? Tell you what, Judge. Maybe you can get Sheriff Logan to come down and have a drink with us. Socialize a little.
Well, I'm afraid, sir, I have no control over Sheriff Logan's movements.
What kind of a judge do you call that? Boys, I just elected a new judge, namely me. You're in contempt of court, mister. Show the man how we treat contempt of court.
Judge, meet the boss.
Gentlemen, please.
Get back in there.
Enjoy yourself, but not with the
Bounce him
judge.
around,
Come on, man, take it easy.
Boys, the drinks are on the house. They're all free.
Sam, can't you stop them?
Why should I?
Gentlemen, please. There's no reason to destroy the property. Wait a minute.
Too bad you boys got stuck with this job. Miss all the fun. Ain't nothing, all the liquid refreshments.
Yeah. Old Brazos is probably buying drinks for everybody in town, don't you reckon, Hallelujah?
Yeah, buying them or stealing them. Anyway, he's getting them.
Hallelujah. You still got that bottle of whiskey back there?
Sure have, Captain. We ain't had many snake bites this trip. Well, you fellas care for a swallow? Ought to know better than to ask you. Now, let me see. Where'd I hide that the last time? It's always getting... It ought to be in here somewhere, right next to the beans.
Find it yet?
Not yet. I'll find her. She's around here somewhere. Let's see, I had her right behind the flower night before last. I'll find her. Here it is. Here it is. I know it was there somewhere. Ain't much left in it there. Here you are, Captain.
What'd you put in that bottle?
Coal oil. Didn't think I'd leave any whiskey in the bottle, did you?
Yeah, well, I'll give you back a full bottle of whiskey from town. Hey, look out the thing.
Why don't he come out, Brazos? What's he waiting for?
He'll make his play when he's ready.
Why wait on him? Let's go in after him now.
You hurry, we got plenty of time. The boys ain't hardly liquored up enough yet. Hey, boys! Come on, there's plenty more free liquor in the saloon.
Oh, they're all in there. Let me go in there and get Brazos right now.
Never mind, they've got a sheriff in this town.
Well, it don't seem to me like he's doing a very good job.
Maybe he's got something in his mind.
Well, are you satisfied, Mr. Cartwright? Did you take a good look at what can happen to a town?
You were right, Sheriff. We couldn't control them.
And you can't control them now. It's just going to have to run its course.
Mr. Logan, you got a job to do, and you're getting paid to do it.
Paid to do it? The good citizens of this town told me not to interfere with their money-making enterprises. Well, it's those enterprises that pay my salary. I was reminded of that.
You mean you're not going to do anything to stop them out there?
I am going to sit right here until I get orders from the people who pay me.
Since when do you wait for orders? What's your real reason, Logan?
What do you mean?
Your son is out there with that gang. Could that have anything to do with your decision to stay here inside? What are you ashamed of, Logan? Being a father?
What do you want me to do? Go out there and kill my boy?
Buy your bottle of wine, kid? I owe you one.
What are you doing here?
You think of a better place?
After all that's happened, I didn't think you'd come back.
Why? Just another trail gang to me. It's happened before and it'll happen again. It's always the same.
You don't think things can change?
Sure, they can change. Enough people decide to back up Sheriff Logan.
Well, I wouldn't count on him for anything.
Then you don't know him very well.
Don't I? He's my father.
Your father?
That's right. And I'm here to kill him.
Hi, Sam. Wonder what I tell you. He's a pretty good boy, ain't he?
Yeah. He's the best thing that's happened to me in a long time.
What's the matter with her?
Nothing. Ain't it time yet?
Yeah, it's time. Come on, boys, let's go!
Come on out, Logan!
Well, I guess it's time.
Logan, don't you go out to him.
Come on out!
Let me talk to him.
He's my boy. He's my problem.
I've been waiting for this for a long time, Mr. Logan. Make your move.
Go!
All right, boy. Get it over with.
What are you waiting for, you stupid kid? Shoot! Why are you yelling no good?
Look out, Logan! It's your father, boy. You gonna help him?
Are you all right?
Sure, son.
All right, men. We still got a bunch of cows to drive to Nevada.
Freddie, I'm homesick. Did you buy me a drink?
Me buy you a drink. Your job's hustling drinks from the customers.
But I've been trying. I can't get anybody to buy me anything.
Maybe if you'd stop crying in their beer all the time about being homesick, you'd make out better. It's a long walk back to Memphis, Tennessee.
You'd throw me out in the street, wouldn't you?
Your cut on them drinks is what we're gonna have to eat on tonight. Haven't been able to start a game all day.
Go in and get me a beer. I want to go in here and see Dave Sullivan.
Right.
Shari, those boys just coming in. The Cartwrights. They own a big ranch. Get busy.
The young one is just a baby.
So sell 'em milk, as long as you get your cut.
Howdy, boys, and welcome. My name's Sheriff Bell. You can call me Sheriff.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Adam Cartwright. This is my brother, Joe.
How do you do?
That's my pleasure, ma'am. Wouldn't you like to have a drink with us?
Why, thank you. I believe I might just do that.
Hey, Dave, let me have 4 beers. Horse will be along in a minute.
My turn to pay, isn't it?
No, I've got it.
Let's play blackjack and win enough to buy champagne.
Oh, is the only thing you ever drink champagne?
You'll have to catch me to get your $1 back.
Oh, honey, I'm gonna catch you. You can bet on that.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were there. Now,
I'm trying to apologize like a lady. The least you can do is... Will you let go of my arm? Ow! Ouch! Take your hands off of me. You're hurting my arm. Will you let go of me? Let go of me, you big ape! You're the ugliest man I've ever seen.
You got something to say to me?
No, not me.
Whiskey. Well, I got money.
Don't suppose he's human.
Well, I'm not fixing to find out.
You don't have to. Well, he's a customer, and customers are my business.
Yeah, Sherry, better not. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, maybe he'll buy me some champagne.
Hey! Big man!
Buy me a drink?
Well, I like big men. Even if they are uglier than sin. I don't especially like them stupid.
Why'd you call me that?
Look, the lady didn't mean anything by that.
Why'd you say that to me?
I'd like to apologize for the lady.
Well, I ain't talking to you.
Look, if you don't want to accept an honest apology, why don't you go back to the bar and forget it?
1 hour and 15 minutes. And ain't even moved the last 10.
Dadgone! I'm sure getting tired. How about you? What are we fighting about, you know? I don't know. You know, you're dang near as strong as I am. And you smell nearly as bad, too. Come on.
Hey, you don't suppose they done something to their heads, do you?
My goodness. Two great big boys like you fighting over a little thing like me. Gracious. Would a body think you'd have better sense? Not that it isn't flattering, of course you understand, but... My goodness. Where did you get those shoulders?
Boy, Ernie, I swear, I know some mules that'd like to be able to kick as hard as you can hit.
Boys, please, you're making me all butterflyish inside. All that trouble over little me. Name's Sherry Bell. You can call me Sherry.
Sherry Bell. Now, ain't that a pretty name? Ain't that a pretty name, Hoss?
Yeah, it's a real pretty name.
Hoss, we gotta get moving. Pa's probably waiting supper for us.
Arnie, these are my brothers. This is Adam and little Joe.
Hi, Ernie.
Pretty, ain't they?
Well, they're not really as bad as they seem. You fellas go on. Me and Arnie's got some talking we gotta do.
Well, Hoss, haven't we lost enough time on this already?
Go on now.
They don't like me.
You'll learn to like one another once you get acquainted.
There. I bet that didn't hurt you a bit, did it?
Hurt me? No, ma'am.
I've never seen anyone with such big muscles.
Well, I sure hope Hoss knows what he's doing.
You know, he's always picking up stray critters, bringing them home, patching them up. Remember that grizzly cub he found up on the Tahoe Rim?
Yeah, well, that was just a cub. This time he's got himself a full-grown bear.
This is it, Hoss.
Arnie, this is where you live?
Oh, it's got a good roof on it.
Yeah. Well, I got you home in one piece anyhow.
Hoss?
Yeah, Arnie?
Well, wasn't she the prettiest girl you ever did see? Oh, I ain't never seen nothing like her.
That's her job, being nice to folks, Arnie. I wouldn't give her too much credit.
Oh, no, Hoss. She can't help being nice. I can tell. I'd like to see her some more.
Arnie, you don't think for 1 minute that... Well, what I'm trying to say is... Arnie, girls like Sherry Bell, they ain't interested in a man unless he's got money.
Oh, I got some money. A feller give it to me.
What feller?
Some feller. I don't know who he was. I forget.
Oh, look here, let's get you out of here and get you into a rooming house somewhere.
I don't want that. I don't like houses much.
Arnie, you can't just live here.
Well, this is a good place. There ain't nobody else around. Hoss, you're my friend, ain't you, Hoss?
Sure I am, Arnie.
You ever have a friend before?
Sure I have. Well, I was raised with my brothers, honey.
Brothers is different. I ain't never had a friend before.
Of course you have, Arnie.
No, I didn't. You know why. People get scared of me. People just take one look and they don't like me.
Well, I like you. I took more than one look at you.
Maybe you're a little more like me. Your brothers, they just took one look. I can tell. I always been able to tell. Well, I don't blame nobody.
Well, I ain't exactly a Palomino myself. Looks don't mean everything, Arnie.
I guess I ain't too smart, too. People don't leave me alone. Well, I get mad sometimes. I ought to be used to it, but well, I get mad. What I need's money, Hoss. It's gonna take a lot of money.
What's gonna take a lot of money?
A farm. I used to live on a farm. You ever live on a farm, Hoss?
Yeah, I guess I sort of live on a farm now.
Yeah? Ain't nothing like a farm. I used to get up real early in the morning and go out and slop the pigs. A whole bunch of little old baby pigs. They ain't hardly got no hair at all. Just a squealing and a eating away, and that old sow standing over and making sure every one of her little babies gets enough to eat. How come pigs is better than people?
You really liked it back there, didn't you, Arnie?
They ain't nothing like a farm. When I get my farm, ain't gonna be nobody mean on it. I'm gonna have cows and pigs and maybe even some sheep. And they all gonna get along good together. And just them animals and me. And well, maybe somebody else.
How'd you like to come out and go to work on my place? The Ponderosa.
Oh, what'll your brothers say?
They ain't got nothing to do with it. It's up to me. Me and my pa.
I could make some money. Hoss, you think Sherry Belle would like me if I was making some money?
I wouldn't count on too much, Arnie. That Sherry Belle, she's a funny girl.
That's the way I feel, and I know Adam will back me up all the way.
That's right, I do. I'm sorry, Hoss.
Now, wait a minute. There ain't nothing wrong with Arnie. He's just a great, big, strong man. He ain't too smart, that's true, but that don't mean he can't do a job.
I'd just as soon have a wild animal working for me. He's strong as a bull and just as dangerous. You can't trust him.
That ain't true, Adam. He don't mean no harm, Paul.
He don't mean no harm. I just won't be able to use my jaw for a week.
Well, that'll be a relief. All you did with it is jaw anyway. Come on, the sun's up. We got work to do. Just remember, Hoss, we didn't do anything to make him that mad. If you hadn't come along when you did, he might have killed somebody. What about it, Hoss? Is that the way it was?
Oh, it wasn't all that bad, Paul.
Sounds as though it were. Why do you want to get mixed up with somebody like that?
I guess I just understand him. I sort of put myself in his shoes. When you're as big as It's Arnie and me, Paul. Well, there's some things he's got to learn, Paul, some things that I learned.
Don't you think he'd be better off learning those things by himself, the way you did?
Paul, I didn't learn them by myself. I had you, and little Joe and Adam to back me up. Arnie ain't got nobody, Paul.
You mean he needs a friend?
He's got a friend, Paul. A man like Arnie just can't afford to go around losing his temper like ordinary folks. He's got to learn to put up with a little teasing, sometimes even from the girls. He needs me, Paul, to help him learn those things.
Can you teach him to control his temper? I won't stand for any troublemaking.
Oh, Paul, Arnie ain't gonna start no trouble. He's pretty good at ending it.
Well, all right. We can always use a good hand on the Ponderosa.
Thanks, Paul. As soon as I finish work, I'll go into Virginia and get him.
Here we go.
Hello, Arnie.
Boss, you come back. Sherry Belle, this here's my friend.
You've got lots of friends, Arnie.
Sit down, Hoss. We're having a good time.
Yeah, I can see you are.
This here's Freddie. He's a friend of mine, too.
Any friend of Arnie's.
Yeah, sure.
Take all you want, Hoss. I paid for the whole bottle.
I was just saying, Arnie is the strongest man I ever saw.
Yeah, I'm awful strong. Only, I guess Hoss is about as strong.
Arnie, I got good news for you.
Yeah?
Me and my Paul want you to come to the Ponderosa and go to work for us.
Sherry Belle, you hear that? I got a job.
Whoopee! That's wonderful. Now you can buy me some presents.
Sure I can. I never thought of that. I can buy you presents and pretty little things.
Arnie, aren't you forgetting something?
What am I forgetting, Hoss?
Your farm. He was going to save you money and buy yourself a farm, remember?
Oh, no, I wouldn't forget that, Hoss. I'm going to have a farm.
You're going to be a farmer, Arnie?
Uh-huh. I'm going to have a big farm. Going to raise pigs.
A pig farm. Did you hear that, Freddie?
That's what you ought to have, Sherry Belle. A farm. You're too nice a girl to work in a place like this.
That's exactly the way I feel about it. Well, I've always wanted a little cottage somewhere out in the country.
With roses.
Oh, yes. With lots of pretty roses. And maybe some pretty little moo cows.
Every girl ought to have some moo cows.
Now, shut up, both of you.
Oh, what's the matter, Hoss?
Oh, Arnie, you're a long ways from being ready to raise moo cows.
Well, a feller's got to start somewheres. There ain't nothing wrong with roses and stuff.
Hoss Cartwright, you're just an old grouch. I think it's wonderful that Arnie wants me to have all those pretty things. And if Arnie wants moo cows, I think he should have moo cows.
Fine. I know where there's 10,000 of them right now need to be taken care of. Come on, Arnie. You got to get up early on the Ponderosa.
Oh, Hoss, not right now.
Right now, if you still want the job.
Oh, okay, Hoss. Don't you worry none, Sherry Belle. I'll come back and I'll bring you something pretty.
Sure. Maybe just a little moo cow.
There's your pony, Arnie. It's all yours. Mount up.
This is my horse?
For as long as you want him.
It's the prettiest thing. I come here. I just had the clothes I was wearing. Now I got a friend. I got a job, and people are good to me, and now you give me a horse. I don't know what to say.
Aw, you ain't got to say nothing. Go on, mount up. Let's go.
Hey, Pepe, how do you say pony?
Caballo.
Come on, caballo. Let's go to work.
You're doing real good, Arnie.
Sure a big fella. Maybe bigger than you, Senor Hoss.
Well, he ain't no smaller, that's for sure. And he eats twice as much.
I sure hate to have him get mad at me.
You don't have to worry about that as long as you feed him good.
We got plenty of frijoles, Senor Hoss.
Well, I ate an awful lot. Did it eat too much, Hoss?
You always take what you want. That's what it's here for.
I don't think you did much good eating before.
Well, I used to get awful hungry. I ain't never had a job before.
Arnie, you told me once that a man gave you some money.
I don't want to talk about that.
Mira, el grandolo aquel se acabó los frijoles. ¡Qué bárbaro! ¡Qué manera de comer!
What'd you say?
I say you'll never tire because you're the biggest bean eater in the country.
You're lying. You're lying.
No, Arnie, no! 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 Don't! Take your hog! Arnie!
Arnie, what did he say to you?
They was laughing at me. They was talking about me.
We didn't laugh at him, Senor Hoss. We were only having a little joke.
I told you, you don't joke easy. Arnie, we're your friends, don't you understand that?
I'm real sorry, Hoss. I just got mad. I won't do it no more. Honest, Hoss.
Honey, I told you could work here as long as you didn't cause no trouble. Now, that goes for fighting anybody.
You're gonna kick me off the ranch.
And by golly, I ought to.
Oh, I got it coming. I'm sure gonna miss my horse.
Oh, shut up. You ain't going no place.
But you said you was gonna...
I said I ought to and ought to. But I ain't gonna. Go and get you a cup of coffee. What are you doing out here?
Boss sent me out to tell you.
Hoss? In a minute, Arnie.
What's the matter? You having trouble again?
I can handle Arnie. Ain't nothing wrong, is there?
Yeah. Remember that squatter you threw off the ranch a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I ain't likely to forget Jake Staple. Next to Arnie there, he's the biggest man I ever tangled with.
No, he's not so big now. He's dead.
Dead?
Yeah, Sheriff rode in late this afternoon. Told Pa they found his body up on the Carson. He'd been robbed. Sheriff said...
Arnie, I told you I'd talk to you in a minute. Now go and sit down. How was he killed?
Somebody broke his neck, snapped it like a matchstick.
Wow. That takes some doing.
Yeah, it would.
What I gotta say is, I never mean to hurt nobody. I just get mad. I don't know why. I just get mad. I don't...
scorcher out there. Let's have another.
Hoss, there's something I got to do before Sherry Belle gets here. Oh, I got to buy her a present.
Oh, Arnie, you ain't got to buy her nothing.
But, Hoss, I promised her. She likes me, Hoss.
Arnie, Sherry Belle's a saloon girl. It's her job being nice to fellers. But dang it, that don't mean she really likes you.
I never knowed a girl before. Not never. They didn't even want to talk to me. I just gotta buy her something. I just gotta.
All right, Arnie, you got your week's wages. Don't spend it all. Dave.
Where's Tame Grizzly?
He's out spending his week's wages.
On a present for me?
Won't you leave him alone? He ain't never done nothing to you.
Ah, why don't you buy me a little old drink? You know, it wouldn't be too much trouble for a girl to get to like you.
No, I reckon not. No more so than getting to like Arnie.
Ah, that big ape?
You think he's such an ape? Why do you bother with him?
Oh, he's a customer. Besides, they pay me to be nice to customers. And he's good for laughs. And around here, a girl needs all the laughs she can get, let me tell you.
Well, don't push him too far. He ain't got much of a sense of humor.
Now, don't you worry. Arnie bores me. And once the novelty wears off, he's just a joke.
If that's the way you feel about it, then you won't mind not seeing him anymore.
Mind? I'd be tickled to death. And if you don't want your big, dumb friend coming in here, then just keep him away from me.
Hoss, look at here. Ain't it pretty? It cost me pretty near all my money. The Sherry Belle's are gonna love him.
Arnie, I don't think you're gonna be able to give him to her right now.
Why not, Hoss?
Well, she ain't in there now. The bartender told me she wasn't gonna be back till later.
But I ain't never bought no presents for nobody before. Sherry Belle's have got to see these. I want to give them to her now.
Arnie, I done told you the bartender said she wasn't gonna be back in there till late tonight.
But that's a long time, Hoss.
Oh, it'll pass before you know it. Anyhow, while you're waiting, I want you to come take a ride with me. There's something I want to show you.
Well, what is it?
Well, I can't tell you. I gotta show you.
Well, where are we going?
Up to the Tahoe Realm. It's sort of a favorite place of mine.
Then can I come back and give Sherry Belle her present? Promise?
If you still want to. Look at that, honey. Pretty, ain't it?
wish I was a tree growing here, so I couldn't never move away.
There's a little place all the way across the lake over there, about 150 acres, I make it. Seems almost a shame to waste it on cattle. Sure would make a fine farm. Good meadow, water, fine stand of timber. Wouldn't take too much for a man to buy it, neither.
Well, who owns it, Hoss?
Well, I do right now, but Arnie, you could own it in a couple of years if you'd work real hard and save your money.
Oh, it's prettier than I even ever did dream it could be. A little old cabin over there, some roses. Well, I don't know one flower from another, but Sherry Belle likes roses.
Arnie, come here and sit down. Arnie, I spend a great deal of time up here. This is grizzly country. Old Big Grizzly, he likes it up here where the air's clean. He can live and hunt like a grizzly's supposed to. He likes it by himself because he don't need nobody else. But you get on lower, you get into the wolf country. The wolf travels in a pack. He'll track down a herd of deer and cut out the weak ones and tear them down. The sick ones. The old deers that can't run no more. People are sort of like that, aren't they? There's them that, like the wolf, they run in packs. And then there's others that, like the grizzly, they like to get up in the country where the air is clean. They can make their own way, because they don't need nobody else. Arnie, me and you, we're bears. We ain't wolves.
I don't understand you, Hoss.
Arnie, I don't want you to go back into Virginia City. Tonight or no other time.
But I got to. I got to give Sherry Belle my present.
Arnie, you can have that land over there. You can have it tomorrow, but that girl don't go with it. You can move on your farm. Now, if you'll promise me you'll never see that girl again.
You want her, that's what it is.
Now, Arnie, wait a minute.
You want her yourself. You call yourself a friend of mine.
Arnie, don't you understand? She don't care nothing about you. She's been laughing at you all along.
You're a liar.
Arnie, I swear it. She's been making fun of you, Arnie. She admitted it to me.
You're trying to make me believe something that ain't true. I'm going into Virginia City and get her right now.
Arnie, wait a minute.
You said you was my friend, but you ain't. Hoss? Don't you understand, Hoss? Well, I ain't never had a girl before.
Arnie. Arnie. Arnie.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
My feet are killing me. I've got to change my shoes.
It has been a long night. I'm kind of tired myself.
I'll only be a few minutes.
Take your time. Suppose I bring you a little nightcap.
Sure. Why don't you do that? You. All right. What are you doing here?
Well, I didn't mean to be late. Hoss wanted to show me something.
Will you get out of here?
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have come back here. I should have stayed outside.
Can't you understand English? I don't want to see you in here, out there, or anywhere.
Look, I brung you these here beads.
You dumb fool. You stupid fool. Do you think I care what you bring me? You're just something to laugh at. You're just good for laughs. Now, will you get out of here before you stop being funny?
No, you better not mean that.
You stupid clown. You're a stupid, ugly, smelly clown.
No!
Sherry? Sherry?
Help? Somebody help? Help!
But be careful. He's big enough to tear a man in two. I believe I'd as soon see him brought back dead as alive.
Yeah. I shoved that door open. I saw Arnie standing there like a ape or something. Charabelle laying on the floor like a broken doll. Arnie took one look at me, let out a roar, yelled he was going to kill me. You boys know I'm no hero or anything. He's about twice as big as I am, but I tried to stop him anyways. And there's the man who's responsible for all of this, Hoss Cartwright. If it hadn't been for Hoss Cartwright, Charabelle would be alive right now.
Now, that's just about enough of that. Maybe the Cartwrights did make a mistake by giving that man a job. But it was an honest mistake.
Where's Arnie?
Oh, shut up.
Boss, if you know where he is, tell us. He killed a girl last night.
And you're riding after him?
He worked for us. We have a responsibility.
It's all my fault, Paul.
No, it wasn't your fault. You tried to help him. Boss, do you know where he is?
Well, I ain't for sure. I know where he might be. I'll tell you where it is, Paul, but you got to promise to give me a head start.
Why?
Because I got to see him. I got to try to explain before they get to him. Look at him. They'll tear him apart.
Hoss, you can't let him go. Now, he has to be punished. If you try to get in between him and the posse, they'll tear you apart, too.
Yes, sir. I know what's got to happen. But he's my friend, Paul. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I can't just leave him out there to die all alone.
Where is he?
He's at Greenwich Point on the rim. At least I think he is.
All right. You go to him. Hoss, be careful.
Thank you, Paul.
We're about ready, Ben.
That's Hoss Cartwright riding down the street. I want to know where he's going.
Will you shut up? Ben, where is Hoss going?
Well, what do you want to know, Roy?
You ain't letting him get the jump on us so he can warn that Arnie, are you?
Hoss knows Arnie better than any of us. He's just trying to keep anyone else from getting killed.
What happened that murdering maniac to get away?
Now, Roy, you know that isn't so. If it was, I wouldn't have let him ride off like that.
Then I should have known that you and little Joe is just as anxious as we are to get that woman killer to a rope.
We're anxious to see justice done.
It's the same thing.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot that wild man on sight. And if any of you have any guts, you'll do the same thing.
Now, if you want to go on this posse, you're going to do what I say. You'd like that. You about ready to lead us out this Granite Point?
I'll get you there.
All right, mount up, boys. But don't any of you take any chances.
You was right, Hoss. She was laughing at me. It hit me with the beads I brung her.
I know.
I hurt her real bad, didn't I, Hoss?
Arnie. Arnie, you killed her.
I guess I knowed I did. I loved her, Hoss. Why didn't you know that?
You killed Jake Staple, too, didn't you?
Well, I didn't mean to. I come in his camp, and he just took one look at me, and he flung hot coffee in my face. It hurt awful, Hoss. I got mad. I guess I just hit him too hard.
You took his money.
Wasn't going to do him no good, and I was hungry. Don't you see, Hoss? I didn't mean to hurt nobody. That feller, he burnt me, and I got mad, and Sherry Belle, she was laughing at...
Honey, it's all right. It's all over now.
They're coming after me, huh?
They got to, Arnie.
I always knew they'd be coming someday.
I'm terrible sorry, Arnie.
Hoss?
Yeah, Arnie.
I'm glad you brought me up here. This is a good place. I almost had it, didn't I, Hoss? Little old farm, little bunch of squealing pigs, slopping out their trough, and old mama nosing them around. I come awful close.
Arnie, turn around.
What's that for, Hoss?
We're gonna go down and meet him.
I want to stay here.
Arnie, get your horse.
I ain't going.
Arnie, we're gonna ride down there together, just you and me. Now, I ain't gonna let them hurt you.
You try to stop them, they'll hurt you too.
No, they won't. I'll talk to them. They ain't gonna hurt nobody.
You're right, Hoss. You wasn't lying to me. You're the only person I ever knowed who wouldn't lie to me. I'll go with you.
You're doing the right thing, Arnie.
I couldn't let you do a thing like that, Hoss. They'd have killed you, sure.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought I saw something up there.
Arnie?
I don't know.
Vantage Point's only about a quarter mile up now.
I tried to help him, Bo.
I know, Hoss.
He didn't want me to get hurt.
He never wanted to hurt anything. I'm gonna take Arnie to his farm.
Oh, little Joe, can't you load no faster than that? Can I load it any faster? Why don't you try pitching? Let me stack for a while. You must be forgetting. I did the loading this morning, you did the stacking. Now it's your turn to load a while. No, I ain't forgetting. I'm just complaining.
Now I ask you, do you ever see two guys work so hard and accomplish so little?
I'll have to admit they're a bit on the slow side, Adam. But then they're pretty puny. Especially the one on top of the wagon.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing?
Oh, I thought I'd give him a hand.
Well, we're going to make that dance in Virginia City. We don't have much time.
Won't take but a few minutes.
Well, as long as you're such a fool for work, Dave, be my guest. Oh, hey, ain't that shirt you sent all the way to St. Louis for?
Yeah?
It's pretty bad shape now.
Well, I can send for another. Come on, we better get the rest of this hay loaded before your paw skins us alive.
And he can sure do it, too.
Hey, Walker. You stand right where you are, Walker. Drop your gun, brother.
I don't know who you are, mister, but you're gonna go home in a box.
I'm a United States Marshal, and this is my prisoner.
Well, what'd Dave do?
You got the wrong man, mister.
Now, hold it. I'll kill the first man that tries to interfere.
Dave didn't have a chance, Pa. Marshall clubbed him before he knew what was happening.
I'll have a look at your credentials, Marshal, if you don't mind. A tin star and a shotgun won't get you up the Ponderosa alive. I said your credentials. United States Marshal Emmett Dowd, Los Angeles, Office of Southwest Territory. And was it necessary to half kill the boy, Marshal?
He had a pitchfork. I don't take any chances.
Dave's the one who didn't have a chance, Marshal.
Marshal, Dave Walker has been working for me for almost a year now. In all that time, I've never known him to commit an act of violence of any sort.
If you have any complaints, you can lodge them with my superiors.
Oh, I'll do that. You can count on it.
In the meantime, you tell your boys to step aside. I'm going to take my prisoner into Virginia City.
On what charge?
Murder. Let's go.
You have to treat him so roughly.
Cartwright, I'll handle my prisoner in my own way.
Now, look, he's not an animal. Treat him with some consideration.
Mr. Cartwright, it's a federal offense, punishable by fine or imprisonment or both, to interfere with the United States Marshal in the execution of his duties. Now, you step aside.
you fellas think you'd better get dressed if you're going to make that dance?
After what happened to Davy, I don't feel much like dancing, Paul.
Me neither, Paul. Paul, do you really believe what that feller had to say about Dave being guilty of murder?
Well, the question of Dave's innocence or guilt still has to be proved at a trial.
Well, that is if he gets one. Dowd acted as though he's already been convicted.
Yeah. Ain't there some way we can stop him, Paul?
Hoss is the United States Marshal. His orders are to take Dave back to Los Angeles to stand trial.
Well, maybe some of Dave's friends got together. We could change all that.
Now, Joe, whatever we think of Dowd as a man, he still represents the law. Must be a better way to help Dave.
We're listening.
Well, we can ride into town tomorrow morning, for one thing. Talk to Dowd. The stage for Southern California doesn't leave till noon.
Yeah, but how can we help him?
I don't know. I do have a lawyer friend in Los Angeles I'd like to telegraph a message to.
Yeah, I'd like to buy old Dave a shirt, too. Replace that when he tore up helping us load the hay.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, Hoss. Well, 3 of us will leave in the morning, then.
3 of who?
No. Hoss, Adam, and myself.
No, what about me?
I think you'd better stay here, Joe. Well, somebody has to get the rest of the hay in.
That'll keep him busy till spring, Paul.
Well, this country's growing up, Pa. It wasn't always you could send $1,000 flying through the air from here to Los Angeles.
Well, at least it'll provide Dave with the kind of help he'll need.
Paul, I'm getting just about ready to kill a man, Paul.
Oh, what now?
Well, I just took that new shirt over to Dave, and you ought to see what that marshal's done to him.
What about the sheriff? Didn't he try to stop him?
No, he's up at Pyramid Lake or someplace. Ain't nobody over there but that deputy. Dowd just shoved him aside.
We better get over to that jail, see what we can do. Dave. Let me see your face, boy. Dan, how did this happen?
Dowd brought the boy in last night and then demanded a cell. I couldn't refuse to cooperate with the U.S. Marshal, Ben.
He did this to Dave.
Well, I didn't see it happen. Curly had the night duty. He said Dowd came back to check the boy's chains.
Paul, I'm gonna kill him.
No, that wouldn't help matters. Dave, did you give him any provocations?
Do you think he needed any, Mr. Cartwright?
But why? He didn't offer any resistance. Why would he want to do this to you?
Maybe because he's just that kind of man, Mr. Cartwright.
Yeah. I guess that's so.
Dave, Paul's wired $1,000 to a lawyer friend in Los Angeles. Make sure you get a fair trial.
Adam, you think Dowd's going to let me reach Los Angeles alive?
David, did you commit this murder?
Mr. Cartwright, I don't even know what Dowd is talking about.
All right, Dave. We believe you.
Where's the marshal now, Dan? He's over at the hotel packing his bags. The stage leaves in 20 minutes.
Well, that'll give us enough time. Come on, boys.
Hoss? Thanks for the shirt. Nicest one I ever had.
It's all right, Dave.
Mr. Cartwright, thanks for everything you've done for me, but don't bother trying to talk to Marshal Dowd. It won't do any good.
Well.
Good morning. Will you please see that our bags are taken out to the stage?
You talking about the stage in Los Angeles?
Yes, sir. I think that is the name of the little village. You see, my daughter and I are not so familiar with this part of your country.
But we like it very much. It's so very beautiful. Isn't it, Father?
Indeed, my child, it is. And we are looking forward to the rest of our journey.
There's nothing between here and Los Angeles but 500 miles of dry, hot desert.
But your desert is most remarkable. We have never seen anything to match its rugged splendor.
You'd better wait for the next stage. We aren't taking any passengers on this one.
No, no, we cannot wait. You see, we have made arrangements already at Los Angeles. There will be a sailing vessel waiting for us on which we have reservations.
I said no passengers.
Hello, Marshal.
Hello, Cartwright. You're blocking the door.
Yes, I know. We've just seen what you did to Dave Walker.
He resisted my efforts to shackle him.
Was there any need to chain him to that bed?
Just the need to make sure he didn't escape from that flea bag jail.
What about his face? What'd you hit him with?
Cartwright. Get out of my way.
Mister, if you weren't a United States Marshal...
The point is, I am.
Let him out, Adam.
Excuse me, gentlemen. May I present myself? My name is Dr. Anton Strasser. This is my daughter, Andrea.
Yeah? Well, I'm Ben Cartwright. These are my sons.
Very pleased to meet you, gentlemen. Could you kindly tell me, is there some danger in our taking this particular stage?
Danger? No, there's no danger. It might prove to be a bit unpleasant for you and your daughter.
Unpleasant? How do you mean?
Well, Doctor, you see, they're taking a young man in chains on that stage to Los Angeles.
In chains? But why? Is he a criminal?
No, ma'am, he's not a criminal. But it might be safer if you did take the stage next week.
But, Father, surely he cannot prevent us from taking the stage.
Easy, easy, my child. Sir, I don't understand. This gentleman who carries a gun, is he an officer of the law?
Well, he's an officer of the law, all right, but you must remember, Doctor, we're a young and rough country.
Well, we have seen men like this who carry guns and abuse their power. It happens everywhere, even in my native Vienna.
But, Father, we've got to get on that stage if we're going to make our connections.
We'll see what can be done. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Alles wird in Ordnung sein.
Stand away, mister. He doesn't need any help. On your feet, Walker. I said get up.
Once before, I've seen that kind of law, man.
How do you mean that, Dan?
That Dowd doesn't intend for Dave to get to Los Angeles alive.
Look, Dan, isn't there someone you can send along to look out for the boy?
I'd go myself, but we're 2 men short as it is. We couldn't spare anybody till the sheriff gets back from Pyramid Lake.
Think I ought to go along, Pa?
Adam, this isn't really our affair.
Isn't it? Why'd you wire $1,000 to the lawyer in Los Angeles?
We'll make sure the boy gets a fair trial.
Well, maybe that's why I want to go along. See that he lasts long enough to get a fair trial.
Paul, maybe you'll send me along, too.
Charlie? Have you any empty seats?
As far as I know, we're not carrying anything but the marshal and his prisoner.
Say, driver. Please take our luggage aboard. My daughter and I will travel with you.
I told you at the hotel. There'll be no other passengers on this trip.
Sir, you have no right to do this. This is a public vehicle.
Tell your father to step out of the way, miss. I don't want to hurt him.
But my father isn't well. And we must make that boat connection.
I'm sorry, miss.
But we haven't any weapons. Surely we can't endanger you and your prisoner.
Marshal? Are you commandeering this stage?
I said there'd be no passengers on this trip.
Well, you know you can't take over a public carrier, Marshal Dowd.
It's for their own safety. I can't be responsible for what might happen on this trip.
Well, you can just not bother yourself about that anymore, mister. Me and my brother here are going to go along with you to make sure nothing peculiar does happen.
That's right, Marshal. If you've any objections, you can telegraph your superiors for instructions.
All right. Hand your guns to the driver.
Hand up your guns, boys. You won't need them for what you have to do.
Lock them up. Yours, too. I'll take the key.
Look out.
It's all right, Marshal. You just keep your seat. I'd just soon ride up there, Charlie, anyhow.
Get up there, Lucy. Take them hips, Maybell.
Forgetting my manners, Miss Strasser. You and your father met the gentleman with the shotgun, United States Deputy Marshal Emmett Dowd. But as for the prisoner, well, I am not certain whether or not the law permits us to recognize him. Perhaps you could advise us, Marshal.
We have a long journey, Mr. Cartwright. Let's not make it more difficult than is necessary.
Well, looking at your prisoner, I would say you're making it a lot more difficult than is necessary.
Since you're so well armed, Marshal, why is it necessary that your prisoner remain chained?
Does it disturb you to see a murderer in chains?
I don't go to see any man in chains.
Particularly an innocent one.
Walker's guilt will be established when we reach Los Angeles.
Charlie, why don't you try missing some of them juggos every once in a while?
We've got a long ride ahead of us, Adam. There's no sense in your getting redneck because of me. I'm finished.
You can't say that. If you're innocent, you can't even think it. You mustn't submit to what he stands for.
These chains don't encourage a man to fight back, miss.
Charlie, I sure am going to be happy to get my britches off of this torture rack.
Well, we'll be stopping one of the horses another mile or so. Get up there, Lucy. Howdy.
Howdy.
10 minutes, folks. You can get out and stretch if you don't mind the snakes.
Well, sure, I'm glad you folks came by.
What's wrong, mister?
Oh, my horse lost a shoe a ways back.
That's bad luck. Where are you headed?
West?
Which shoe is it?
Oh, it's that left front foot.
Yeah, it ain't no shoe, mister. You ain't going very far from that old pony. He's got a bad stone bruise.
Well, maybe you got room for an extra passenger. I got the fare.
Hold it.
What's your name, mister?
Cutler? Herd Cutler.
Where you from?
Up north?
I asked you a question, mister. Answer it.
Well, that's a good enough answer. Up north. Ranch near the Truckee River. I'm headed for Los Angeles.
All the way across the desert with that one canteen?
Well, I figured I'd get me another one at the next stage station. Marshal? Well, how about it, driver? You got room for me topside?
Yeah, I guess so.
We can't just leave him stranded out here. It's better than a week till another stage comes by.
Didn't I see you in Virginia City?
Oh, I don't reckon so, Marshal. Nearest I ever got to a silver mine was Laredo. The land jobber sold me and my partner a salted claim.
Did you get back at him?
No, hanging party got to him first. Well, how about it, Marshal? Be grateful to you if you let me ride to the next stage station. I can have my horse shot and be on my way.
I'll let the driver keep your gun.
The marshal's taking all our guns. He's